she's like, he was looking for the pain, asking where it hurt. And she's like, I remember he was moving. And she's like, every time you move, it hurts. And she was like, I said, what were you wearing? Do you remember? She said a dress.
No! No.
I said, well, this is the thing. I said, when the doctor ran a test on you, he found that you have had sex in the past. She said it wasn't wrong. She said it didn't go wrong. But, dude, she was actually 8 when it happened. But she didn't know what it was back then. But it turns out that the boy that was 15 that was babysitting him put his wiener in her. Surprisingly, he didn't rip her at 8 years old. Anyway, so the detective got that information too. Because with a kid, it doesn't matter.
Mm-hmm.
So, anyway, he was going to track to find the boy. So anyway, the detectives located the guy and had him come in because he's 21.
Mm-hmm.
They had him come in, and so the detective was talking to him. I went down there. He said, no problem. And detective said, got some questions I want to talk to you about. And he said, okay. And the detective's like, he says, can you remember back when you were 15? Roughly around that age? He's like, yeah. He said, I remember when I was 15. He's like, you're 21 now, right? He said, yeah. He said, you and your sister babysat or something when you were 15? He's like, yeah. He said, we did for extra money. He said, that way we could go to the fair and stuff. He said, you used to babysit Ashley. So he's like, yeah. He said, I think that was her name. He said, I don't remember her name. And he's like, why did you stop babysitting? He's like, so why did you stop babysitting? He's like, they never had me come back. He said you never called him to ask him why. He's like, no. He's like, you never called to find out why. He's like, but you never thought to call him and ask him, hey, why don't you call me to babysit anymore? He's like, no.
She's tall as hell, too. No! I should have done it. Oh my god! I needed to go out there. I didn't know. Go on.
He's a funny game player. So anyway, he said, but you never thought to ask the family why they didn't call you back. He said, but your sister was still babysitting. He said, I think so. He said, never concerned you to find out why they didn't have you babysit anymore. He said, no, I never thought about it. He said, so you're 21. He's like, yeah. He said, Ashley's now 13. He's like, is she? He's like, yeah. He said, I hadn't seen her in so long. So the detective's like, well, Let's talk about Ashley. And he's like, okay. He said she was like, what, 8 when you babysat her? He said 7, 8. He said, why'd you babysit? She said so their parents could work. He said when my sister had to go to work, I would babysit her. He's not even trying to deny the shit that he babysat or anything. Maybe he's not remembering it. Anyway, he said, well...
No, I was too fast. Please don't grab me.
He
No.
said so 6 years ago.
Is she coming? No.
He said so 6 years ago.
Oh.
He said,
Hurt me.
actually didn't want you babysitting anymore. She asked her mommy not to use you anymore.
Okay, guys.
He said, you know why? He's like, no. He said she tried to be sneaky to get extra snacks and stuff. He said her parents were definitely against that. He said, I'm pretty sure her parents were probably against
I can tell it's you.
a 15-year-old boy doing something with an 8-year-old too.
I don't think you can ever.
He's like, doing what? He said, so Ashley got tests done. He said in those tests, he said exactly roughly 6 years ago, when she was 8, Ashley's got marking inside of her vagina area from a man. He said not a man, a younger boy. He said which fits your criteria. He said it also fits when you were babysitting her. And he said it's right around the time when they didn't use you anymore. He said, did you get
Yeah, maybe we just make
suspicious of wanting to learn or see? That you tried it on an 8-year-old? He said, do what?
Yeah, I would rather because thanks for the tip too. Okay, I will just
Slide her dress up, take her underwear off,
and
and put your wiener in her.
closet as well.
He's like, wait, whoa, no. He's like, whoa, no. He said, no, I didn't. He said, listen, okay? She has the scarring from it. He said, and on top of that, he's like, it was the same time you, he
No, it
said,
doesn't open.
it happened when you were babysitting.
God damn it, I screwed it up again. I thought.
He said it happened while you were babysitting. And it was right after he let you go and didn't need you
All
anymore.
the things.
He's like, we know for a fact it was you.
Never mind. Okay. Not really. Guys, I'm just going to do it like I think it must be done.
He's like,
That's okay, Mike. You tried it. I mean, it's not your fault.
he's like, isn't it Ben who wanted this? He said, actually, no, because she's a minor. He said, there's no time limit on it.
I don't know.
And he said she's not legally an adult yet, so he said, no, there's no time limit on it.
Try to hide it.
He said she's actually still a minor.
This is a little So I bet we need to slowly make it through the whole once she fills it out.
That's funny.
Yeah, Michael, that is. I can do that once I'm home. Yeah, that's true, Latina. Third time's a charm. That's what I said.
He's like, but I didn't do that.
Sometimes it doesn't translate. The problem is Serena, if I stay.
He said, she
she's
do it?
coming.
He said, what did she walk up, take your pants down, lay herself down and pull you down on top of her, do it? At 8 years old? He's like, dude, I'm gay. He said, I don't do this. He said, I've been gay since I was little. He said, I've always liked boys. He's like, you know, ask anybody. He said, I'm gay, dude. He's like, I've never done anything with any girl. Ever. Never have I touched a girl. He said, I've never even kissed a girl. Never touched a girl. So the cop's like, he said probably it's going to be hard to prove because we don't have any DNA from him on her. But he said he fits the timeline. He said in this gay thing, but he called some friends.